We worked from 7 to 7, 12-hour day.
We all must have had some kind of quality to have gotten the job in the first place.
Robert Conrad's tragic end has revealed many secrets about him to the people. There have been different speculations that the famous Wild Wild West star may not have lived as perfectly as everyone thought. In today's video, discover all about Robert Conrad's abandoned house, family, death, net worth, and much more. Robert Conrad's abandoned house. Robert Conrad lived a life of solitude and quietness, and, after his death, his house, which was his safe zone from the world, was revealed to the public and put up for sale. Let's find out all about Robert Conrad's abandoned house. When he was alive, Robert bought a house in Malibu, California. The house dates to 1980 and was dear to Robert, who spent many years there alone. What was special about the house that drew the actor to it? Let's find out. The house's location was well structured, making it easy to see the ocean from the house. Also, the back of the house was rumored to feature glass walls and a second-floor balcony. The balcony was one of Robert's favorite spots. He could take in the scenery from here. In addition to this, the interior of the house was great. The interiors feature semi-gloss plank hardwood and industrial-inspired design elements. Added to the beauty of the house is the stunning living space. It reveals a soaring double-height ceiling. It also has a beautiful second-floor catwalk, a fireplace, and sliding glass doors. These doors lead to the pool and patio. Also, the house has a Master Plus guest room layout. The house was designed so the owner receives a huge chunk of the square footage. With the huge chunk is a private terrace. The living room was filled with enough light radiating from every space. Aside from the interior, the outdoors is also a masterpiece to behold. In the house lies a grassy courtyard. The house accommodates 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms in 3,765 square feet. The house was filled with black-trimmed windows and hardwood floors. These windows and floors were complemented with gallery white walls. The kitchen is also another masterpiece that was filled with tiles and a dining area, spacious for large people. The house also has a game room, lounge, and a yoga studio for relaxation. The backyard was filled with a swimming pool and spa for comfort and relaxation. Also, a volleyball court and fire pit were added to complete the beautiful view. After Robert's death, the house was put for sale and sold for $5.1 million. If alive, would Robert have accepted the sale of his house? Of course not. The house was his only escape route from the world. Robert never brought his family there. He was all alone. Why? And what led to this? Why live a lonely life when he has a family? Let's find out by taking a drive into Robert Conrad's family. Robert Conrad's family. Divorce was the norm for many celebrities, and it was the same in Robert Conrad's case. Robert's marriage to his first wife, Marjorie Joan, failed after 25 years. What happened? Joan Kenley, who happened to be an American model, was Robert's first love. The two loved each other and decided to get married in 1952. There were rumors that their marriage was done in secret and away from their family and friends. Their union yielded 5 children: Christy, Joan, Nancy, Christian, and Shane. Their marriage was the envy of many. However, people got disappointed when Robert and Joan decided to get a divorce after 25 years of marriage. Their divorce was a peaceful one, and they went their separate ways. However, Robert will always admit that his marriage to Joan was fruitful. Why? He launched into his acting career during this phase of his life. Luck shone on Robert when he met actor Nick James in 1957. Nick and Robert met while visiting James Dean's gravesite in Fairmount, Indiana. Gradually, the two started talking and became good friends. Nick opened his eyes to see the need to pursue his acting career in California, which Robert agreed to. Nick went as far as to help Robert get a part in the film Juvenile Jungle. The movie helped Robert join the Screen Actors Guild. Later, he got another role in the film, Thundering Jets. Despite getting small roles, Joan continued to encourage him. His bright season began when he was signed into an acting contract by Warner Brothers. The contract opened doors for him, and he made many recordings with Warner Brothers. Later, in 1961, he made his big hit. He recorded his Billboard hit song, Bye Bye Baby, which reached number 113. That's not all. Robert was privileged to appear in the second season of the James Garner series, Maverick. This launched him into being featured in other shows, either for Warner or Ziv Television. Gradually, Robert's fame grew, and he became well known in the entertainment industry. That, of course, meant more roles. In 1969, he signed a 3-picture deal with Bob Hope's Doane Productions. Later, in 1969, he debuted as prosecutor Paul Ryan in the TV movie D.A. Murder 1, released in 1969. His marriage to Joan has been a benefit to him. However, tragedy struck when the two decided to get a divorce in 1977. It was a shocking news to their fans. The two seemed okay with it and went their separate ways. Later, that same year, Robert met Lavelda Fan. Their love story came with many controversies and disapprovals. Why? When Robert met Lavelda, she was still a teenager, while Robert was 43 years old. He had emceed the Miss National Teenager pageant, which she won. Then, Robert had jokingly mentioned that he would marry her one day, and not long after, it happened. Did Robert divorce Joan because of Lavelda? No one knows. However, there were no facts to prove this right. Robert and Joan already had their issues, leading to their split. Robert and Lavelda's love story blossomed, and their union produced 3 children. Robert became a proud father who had 8 children to call his own. While everyone was still admiring their marriage and love story, the two decided to get a divorce in 2010. How sad! Their divorce was Robert's last attempt at love, and he withdrew completely from the world. Robert was rumored to have a tough guy personality. There were speculations that this was his strength and weakness in the entertainment industry. In addition, Robert's tough personality is reflected in how he raised his children. He was the no-nonsense type who believed strongly in child discipline. Over the years, Robert's discipline has shaped their lives. Let's explore the lives of his children. Joan Conrad, Robert's daughter with Joan, was born on December 31, 1952 in Chicago, Illinois. Joan decided to walk in her father's footsteps. She pursued a career in film and TV production. Her talent and skill were recognized in the industry. One of the movies she has produced is High Sierra Search and Rescue. Later, at a point in her career, like her father, she decided to live a private life with her husband, Timothy McLachlan Toes Irwin. Despite her withdrawal from the limelight, she ensured her children pursued a career in the entertainment industry. Nancy Conrad, like her sister, joined the entertainment industry. She was born on March 1, 1954. She was passionate about acting. Soon after, she joined some of Robert's TV projects, such as Black Sheep Squadron. Nancy was a replica of Robert, and she made it obvious to everyone that she was her father's daughter. While everyone was excited at the thought of another Robert in the entertainment industry, she withdrew herself. Years later, she embraced a private life with her husband, Norton Flynn. Her decision revealed the bond between her and Joan. It was obvious Joan had a great influence on Nancy's decisions. On the other hand, Christy Conrad hid herself from the public eye. She kept all the information about herself private. Christian Conrad, Robert's first son, was born on September 17, 1964, in Woodland Hills, California. Christian took after Robert as well. He pursued a career in acting. After several attempts, he made his big break in the films Star Trek Voyager and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. His roles in the 2 films earned him more fame and recognition. In addition, his work in productions like Jingle All the Way and High Mountain Rangers made great headlines. Also, Christian is a stunt performer. Shane Conrad, like his brother, is a successful actor. He was born on September 24, 1971 in Santa Monica, California, USA. As a producer and actor, Shane has been featured in many movies and TV shows like The Bold and the Beautiful, The Brady Bunch Movie, Wanderlust, and Project X. Chelsea Conrad, Robert's first child with Lavelle DeFan, also started a career in the entertainment industry. Unlike others, Chelsea decided to pursue a career as a jazz singer instead of acting. She tried her best in the movie industry until she gave up. Later, Chelsea transitioned to the business world. Like her mother, she had a sharp eye for fashion and beauty. With this talent, Chelsea founded Cirque Deco, a design and decor service company. Her company thrived, and gradually, she became a household name. In her later years, Chelsea decided to live a private life away from the public scrutiny and fame. Her focus shifted completely from music to solitude. Her other sisters, Camille and Kaya, also lived a different life. For instance, Camille is known for her competitive skiing. She loved it. Camille also cherishes the limelight. This was rare, as not all Robert's children were great media fans. On the other hand, she gladly shares glimpses of her father and her family on her Instagram account. As for Robert Conrad, Robert's last daughter, she kept her entire life private and completely hidden from the public. It was almost as if she never existed. Robert may have failed in many areas, but he was a great father. Before his death, Robert once opened up in an interview and said, "My wife and I tried to see that our children were honest, hardworking, basically moral people." At the time of the interview, he was still married to Joan. It was clear that he did a great job at it. His children gladly followed in his footsteps, and there were reports that they were eager to work with their father. His children attested to the fact that their father was the best. Nancy once praised Robert for being a hard worker during filming. She said, "Dad is a hard worker. If people drag their feet, he gets impatient." This was true, as many others in the industry admitted that Robert was highly productive. Joan, his first daughter, commented that their father had a bad temper. She claimed that calming Robert down sometimes was a bit of a strain. She said, "He starts ranting and raving. It takes a while to patiently take him aside and show him why things might not be going well." Does this mean Joan was not proud of him? Of course not. She loved him and admitted that she wished she had inherited a few of his talents and creative abilities, though less of his personality. Also, it was evident that Robert had close relationships with his children. He gladly welcomed them and looked forward to them acting in his movies. Despite having beautiful children who loved him, it was devastating to hear of the legendary actor's death. His death came as a huge blow to the entertainment industry and his family. However, the painful part of Robert Conrad's story is his reclusion before his demise. He withdrew from everyone close to him. Let's find out how his life ended. The tragic end. Robert Conrad's tragic end started with an accident. On March 31, 2003, Robert was drunk driving on Highway 4 in California's Sierra Nevada foothills near his Alpine County home. He drove his Jaguar over the center median and slammed head-in into a Subaru driven by Kevin Burnett. The accident was a terrible one, as both Kevin and Robert suffered serious injuries. Kevin suffered several fractures to his right leg, and this shattered his femur, tibia, and fibula. The brakes required the insertion of metal rods and nailing. The accident affected Kevin so much that later, in 2005, he died of a perforated ulcer. His family opened up about his death and claimed that this happened as a result of the severe nerve injuries he suffered from the crash. His father, Fred Burnett, said, "We feel the accident contributed to his death indirectly." While Kevin Burnett did become ambulatory again, he was not able to do the things a normal person could do. It was clear the family was in great pain. Fred continued, "If he went golfing one day, the next day would be in constant pain." The pain limited his ability to spend a lot of time on his feet. Kevin's family decided not to take any legal action against Robert. However, they wanted the world to know that drunk driving was bad and dangerous to lives. Robert, on the other hand, suffered severe nerve injuries from the crash. This affected his right side, and he became partially paralyzed. Robert sure did not go scot-free after the accident. According to the district attorney's office, Robert had an alcohol level that was 22. This was way above the legal limit, which is 8. He was faced with felony charges to which he pleaded no contest. Robert's plea was accepted, and he was convicted of drunk driving. Later, after his discharge from the hospital, he was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest. In addition to his punishment was 6 months of alcohol counseling and 5 years probation. He also had to go through numerous surgeries and physical therapy to get better. Did this affect Robert's career? Oh, yes, it did. It affected his image, as many people were disappointed in him for recklessness. His actions cost Kevin his life, and though no one blamed him outright, people didn't appreciate his actions either. After his recovery, when no one expected it, Robert died of heart failure in Malibu, California, on February 8, 2020, at 84 years old. His sudden death was a huge loss to the industry and his family. There were speculations that Robert may have lived his last days in deep regret and sorrow. No one knows how true this is. However, this is the tragic and painful end of the legendary actor. Aside from being an actor, Robert was also devoted to charity work. This made the loss greater. Robert Conrad's philanthropy. Though his charity works were not well documented, there have been many silent reports about Robert Conrad's philanthropy. One is his involvement in the not-for-profit organization Bear Valley Search and Rescue in Bear Valley. It was rumored that Robert had been in the organization for many years. Later, his involvement in the organization led to the foundation of the television series High Mountain Rangers. Aside from this, there were other speculations that Robert Conrad may have been involved with the Marines, though not confirmed. However, before his death, Robert once visited the Marines in Beirut and contributed $25,000. He made this contribution to the special scholarship fund set aside for the children of the servicemen in Beirut who died. Robert's charity work wasn't as loud as his career. However, he left a legacy behind that his family followed after his death. They requested donations to the Wounded Warrior Project and the Marine Corps Scholarship Foundation. Robert's connection with the Marine Corps was special. He devoted his resources and time to it. Also, it was rumored that Robert had been involved with the Jewish National Fund. He was caught on camera attending their Tree of Life Awards. Robert lived a great life, and people loved him. Aside from his charity works, was Robert Conrad rich? And what exactly was his net worth? Let's find out. His net worth. According to Celebrity Net Worth, Robert Conrad, the legendary actor and singer, has a net worth of $10 million. His wealth grew more with the roles he got. An example was in the television series The Wild Wild West, which lasted from 1965 to 1969. This television series was one of the roles that brought him into the limelight, but then other roles launched him into wealth, aside from the television series. What were they? Get ready to discover them. In the 1980s, Robert spent his years working tirelessly on the screen. He could play as a paraplegic coach in The Coach of the Year. As small and insignificant as it may look, this role added to his wealth. He got another role in Will 2 years later, G. Gordon Liddy. At this time, Robert had his own company, A Shane Productions. He was earning money both as an actor and a producer. Later, in 1984, Robert decided to produce another film titled Hard Knocks, an unsold pilot for a proposed TV series. In the film, Robert played the role of retired U.S. Marine Colonel Joseph Knox. According to his role, Joseph Knox just returned to his childhood home of Mount Carroll, Illinois, to teach at his alma mater, a local military prep academy. The film was shot in Mount Carroll at the former Shimer College. Robert's role was convincing, and many people loved the film. Also, there were speculations that his love and contributions to the Marine Corps may have been ignited through his involvement in the film. Robert was known for his tenacious nature and desire for success. In 1985, Robert played the role of a police chief in the theatrically released comedy film Moving Violations. A year later, he bagged different roles in 3 TV movies, The Fifth Missile, Assassin, and Charlie Hanna's War. That year was a sweet one for Robert as his income, popularity, and opportunities increased. Later that same year, Robert served as a special guest referee for the main event of WrestleMania 2. It was a steel cage match between Hulk Hogan and King Kong Bundy for the WWF Championship. All these platforms have made people aware of Robert Conrad. Robert was one of those celebrities whose fame grew with every passing season. For instance, in the 1990s, he made a special appearance in the music video for Richard Marx. This was unlike Robert, and this drew many people to the music video Hazard. Hazard became the #1 hit in 13 countries, including the United States. Whoa, that was how much influence Robert had. Later, in 1996, he got a supporting role with the legendary Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie Jingle All the Way. Also, he was later featured in an episode of Nash Bridges and the film Dead Above Ground, which was released in 2002. He also appeared in the movie Samurai Cowboy in 1994. Later, in 1995, he decided to reboot the High Mountain Rangers. That year, Robert worked with his sons, Shane and Christian, and his second wife, Lavelda Fan, in the TV movie pilot High Sierra Search and Rescue. Later, in 2008, Robert decided to host a weekly 2-hour national radio show called The PM Show with Robert Conrad. He did this show on CRN Digital Talk Radio. This, of course, added to his career. Robert is known for his creative and innovative ideas. He displayed this many times while working in the entertainment industry. All these roles and many more added to his wealth and made him rich. Do you believe Robert's death was as tragic as many claimed? What do you think Robert Conrad should have done better? Leave your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Before you go, watch the other videos displayed on your screen.